Sawtooth Day, what's happening, y'all? So, not Sawtooth today, actually the Crusader Forge, the Fears for Prey. We're trying, I got a new camera mount, new phone, new lights, all kinds of stuff. So, we're gonna try this video, see how it turns out. Cody Cuts did the reground of this. I showed y'all last week. This thing is phenomenal. This thing is a badass bruiser now. Hell of a damn knife. Speaking of which, my buddy Tyler, Everyday EDC, wanted like a couple suggestions on what to look into if you're like intro into getting into these bruiser knives or the bigger knives, as my buddy on his edge says, sub bruiser category. We'll put together a video for you guys, but we got limited amount of time. We got called in to get a day, so I got to drop this video and then get on down the road. So y'all know how it is working, right? It's been a crazy week, and I don't know, some of y'all probably have been around since last year, probably less of you than more of you, I guess. I won the freaking Knife Rights raffle again. Like, that's crazy to me. So Ian and Rusty, thanks for the heads up, man. Both y'all messaged me on Instagram. And Shane, Javon, Lefty, Kev, I appreciate all you guys doing everything you want to do. I don't know what we're going to do, but similar to last year, like, probably going to gift it away. I just don't know how yet. I kind of brainstormed a couple ideas. The giveaway I did, not this last one, but the one before that, I wanted a guy to start a YouTube channel, and I was going to give him nice for. I never heard anything else about it, so I don't know if he did or didn't start a YouTube channel, but I haven't heard anything else about it. But you know, how much, I guess, has progressed since last year, kind of thing. And I actually got some notes, believe it or not. Semi-prepared. I was working out and wrote a few notes, and I ain't that prepared. Don't go thinking that I'm all crazy and shit. But basically, like, you know, last year, I didn't know Shane. Shane and I have each other's cell phone number now. We talked all the time, actually. Not like every day, but, you know, it's not unusual for me to get a text or him to get a text from me. So it's cool as hell to be that tighter with more people, you know. Kev actually asked me a couple days ago if I'd be interested in checking out his American-made version of the Growler. And I was like, hell yes, I would love to check it out. I'll get into all that whenever I get it. I'm on the list, so whatever that means. It might be, I don't know, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. I don't know. I'm going to order them regardless, but neither here nor there. But my feelings on the thing is kind of weird this year, because like last year I was super excited, pumped, never won anything quite like that before. And I was like, it was super cool. And Stevie and another buddy of mine were like the only two people that like really knew me that also knew what was going on with Knife Rights kind of thing. And so I wasn't able really to celebrate last year, and it kind of felt weird because I was like, yeah, and nobody really share it with. Not that I, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, it just felt weird. But this year is like kind of a little strange because I feel like I'm on an upcycle of life right now. I'm feeling, you know, like work's going great, moving into our business. I mean, and I won. And so I'm kind of feel like I should give back to the people who are more on the normal or lower side of the knife collecting thing. I guess if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to come off like a pompous ass saying this shit, but like, I don't know. I like to give more than I get, I guess. So I am. We'll go figure it out. But I love all that swag. So like, if it's coming with like hats and stuff, like, damn, I didn't wear it, but that ball cap I usually wear, like, that came from last year. I've been wearing it for the whole year. So love the ball caps. I'm hoping to get another one of those or something similar to that. Love all that swag. So I'm gonna order up the swag. So I'll probably put some more stickers on the wall too. Kind of like, I want to decorate the whole wall with, you know, YouTube and knife stuff. So kind of support the people who kind of throw content out, I guess. So this has been a cool ass week all week. The Knife Rights kind of thing ending it was kind of cool, but like at the same time, like, just a surreal week, I guess, already. So y'all know me and Steve always, we both were on the buying crazies, and we share stuff back and forth. Like, as far as like YouTube channels go, like, he's the closest to what I like as far as like reputable, or not reputable, constant creators that post stuff. Like, Steve and I have a lot of the similar tastes. Like, we overlap a lot more than most other channels do. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And Steve lent me some badass knives this week. I mean, absolutely banger knives. So let me just show you what Steve sent real quick. I'm gonna briefly touch on them, but they're too good just to pass up. I can't just mention them and move. Like it's gonna have to be like a. I'm gonna have to sit down and actually think about some shit for a minute before I sit here and bullshit with y'all. All right. So the one of the CRKs I hadn't checked out yet was the Nkosi. So he sent me his Nkosi, and it's the Mercati inlay Nkosi. So that was number one. I knew this one was coming. If you've seen one before, the only difference really between this and a PJ is the inlay. And quite honestly, like this version with a Tanto would probably be the one that I'd go for if I was going to get an Nkosi. I'll give you my thoughts more. We'll probably do a whole CRK type video. We probably are going to do the dual studs on this one. I think Steve said he wanted to go ahead and do it. Pretty sure this voids warranty when you start cutting out studs. But this dual stud, if y'all know different, let me know. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to mill off one side and then press the rest of it out. If you know different, or you've done it, like, let me know. Because I haven't done it yet and haven't really done a whole lot of research on it. But just looking at it, it doesn't look like you can just like pull one side out and then press the other side out. I don't know how they're manufactured. So until I pull it apart, I don't know. I just know the diameters are the same. This diameter here is the same. And I'm pretty sure the hole in the blade's smaller than that. So I don't know if they press it in from each side, how it works. I don't know. But anyway, dual thumb stud mod. Probably the Zerk studs, I think is what Steve ended up wanting. That'll be coming up soon. We'll do that one soon. If y'all haven't seen the video on the Zon and I did the dual studs on it, I dropped it the other day, so you can check it out if you want to. I already did the Sebenza dual studs on this guy. These are the best ones that come out so far, so I'll probably end up redoing the Zon studs. But like I said, I'll do a whole other video on the CRK and my thoughts of the whole brand, and or at least the three that I've seen anyhow. The only three I'm really interested in, truth be told. Okay, this next one really shocked me because I seen it on Steve's channel and I didn't know he was going to send it. He mentioned something about sending a heater, but I didn't think he was going to. But he sent this heater POW, and just looking at it, I guarantee you guys can't experience it what it's like by seeing it in video. I don't know how else to describe that other than it's way different than what I thought it was going to be. It's a very cool and unique knife. I guess that's the best way I can put it. So on first glance, some of it kind of looks like almost too much hand built, almost. But there's different designs to all these. But in hand, once I got it in hand and started playing with it, I mean, it's a phenomenal front flipper. Absolutely phenomenal. Reverse flick, whatever you want to call it. Not front flipper, reverse flicker, finger flicker. Everyone, it's phenomenal with that. It's the perfect size for it. Works really good. Some of the stuff that's kind of weird on this knife, that's unique. See how this blade on this side is ground, but on that side it's not. But the V ground's still there. So that's unique. And then if you look right here, this fuller, it's unsymmetrical. So there's not one on this side at all. So these things, these weird little nuances, you kind of have to see and feel to feel what it's like. So for me personally, like the thumb flick, I'll go into more details in a second, but the thumb flick is like, it's doable, but it's not like the most ideal. It's almost set up more for me for like that thumb roll, that gentleman style thumb roll where you stick it in there and kind of roll it out. That's kind of what that little groove helps you with on that side. But on the back side, where it's just that hole cut out, it's much easier just to get your finger in there and flick away. This is the way, to me, this is the way that the action should be on this one. Also, like the flipper on this one, it's laid back. So it's kind of weird. It's almost, you have to use that wrist on it. And I would think it'd be more, from a design point of view, I don't know, more of a don't come up on the blade guard than it is anything else. Like it's unique. And looking at this spine of this backspacer here, you would think it would be really bad in the hand. It's really not. It really fits good. Surprisingly, really surprised me a lot. And there's some uniqueness to this backspacer too. So if you look at it, it's definitely got the hand ground relief. You can see how it's, all the angles are strange. They're not symmetrical, but it makes a cool pattern in your hand. So that's a good hand element. Obviously it's precision fit because it's got the 2 screws in it. And then you look on the inside and you see how it's milled out on the inside with all that precision. So it's kind of a mixture of like precision and hand formed at the same time. So it's unique in that regard. I'd say same thing with what I'm just guessing. I'm straight up guess, but I think looking at this, it's like a dark etch that you've, you know, from my experiences, I don't know what he masks it with. It'd be masked with something to create that kind of tiger stripey, and it did the same thing on the clip. I won't say that the clip is horrible, but it's not like superior or nothing like that, and it does sit off the frame a decent amount, so it could probably be bent back in and that sort of thing. But I mean, if it works, when I carried it, I didn't have any problem with how it worked at all. You know, it kind of has that whole Strider thing where it hooks into one hole and then it's fastened with another one, so it's only one fastener but it's all the hardware and stuff's like big, robust hardware. It's just like massive stuff. You know, it reminds me a lot of that Crusader Ford style stuff. But you know, stuff like this. So he's got the finger grooves in it, but on that last finger groove, that's the lock bar relief. So if you look here, you see how these are thicker, and then it comes to that last one and it's relieved nice and thin. I'll hopefully you can see that good. So it's just weird. It's like it's a different element of a knife. Like, I don't know how to decide. Like maybe artistic bruiser, semi-bruiser. It's almost in the league by its own. Now, if you judge this knife from the cutting ability, it's a big, thick, not ground thin at all behind the edge. Like, it ain't gonna be the best cutting knife that you ever had. It's definitely on a different league when it comes to that stuff. So like, I'm not saying you can't cut with this knife. And if you've never experienced like Mike Elmer's convex edge, I got an XN24 with a convex edge from Mike Elmer on it. Like, they're ridiculous. Now, he can make these things super sharp. Well, I'm not saying like these things, but like big, thick blades in general. He can make them super sharp. It'll surprise you how good they cut. It really will. And a ton of thick blades are thick, and they cut real fine too. So like, what are you using your knife for? Like, this could make an excellent cutter too. It just depends on who's behind the edge. Like, I'm not the best sharpener. Like, for most of my tips, I always go to Sean from Blades of Fades and watch his stuff, because he's definitely that next level that I haven't achieved. Probably, honestly, probably won't ever unless I dedicate the amount of time that he's dedicated to it. But I've learned a lot of what to and not to from him. And I'm a mediocre sharpener at best. Like, I'm not a good sharpener, I wouldn't say. Like, I'm not into the whole mirror edge thing. I just want an edge that cuts. I'm going off on a tangent, and my bad. I don't know if I ever told you, this is the POW, not the MOW. I was really curious about that pivot. And I was like, why would he put a pivot like that? And then I started realizing, like, this is supposed to be a knife for like in the field or that sort of thing, right? You know, heavier use. Why would you need a tool? You don't need a tool if you got this. Just crank on it. Like, you just take your hand and crank on it. You can take your hand and back it back off if you want to. And underneath this is like a quad ring. If you don't know what a quad ring is, basically it's an O-ring, but instead of being round, it's four-sided. So a quad ring, you know, whatever. Underneath that to keep the pivot from really moving it much anyhow. So it's really a unique blend. Like, no way to really else describe this one. I got to do another video on it and kind of like go into more details. I think I'm pretty much highlighted most of them, but a very unique knife, and I'm so glad Steve sent it. I immediately wanted one. Like, as soon as I saw it, I immediately wanted one. After time with it, was my wife always say, I'm waxing and weaning back and forth. Go figure, right? On whether I'd actually, it had to be the right one for me. Like, I saw another one for sale. Steve invited me to a Facebook group, and there's one for sale there, which I don't really know, because the dude selling it, this is a one and only post, and he just started his account like, I don't know, a few days ago. That seems pretty freaking suspect to me. So I'll probably gonna stay away from that one. But like, if I find one like this or something similar to this, then I probably will jump on one. This was a user, so I didn't mind carrying it. Like, most of the stuff that Steve and I kind of interchanged, like, we tell each other we're going to use it and we're going to carry it, but man, truth, like, I'm not carrying this to work. Like, on a Sunday, I'll stick it in my pants, something like this. Most of our knives. This one I actually didn't mind carrying to work. I didn't use it at work. I put it in my toolbox and use my other knife, because I always carry at least two. But I really enjoyed it. It did carry well, I thought, for what I like to carry anyhow. This was a cool knife. This was a surprisingly cool knife. More surprising than that, and I saw this in video, and I've seen, who is it? I think Everyday Blades did one with a different blade shape. But this is a maker that's been around for quite some time. I've never got to handle his work. Never really, like, visually it was like, yeah, I don't know. But when I got this thing in hand, this is the Will Zermano TYR, and you can see it's got the purpley, kind of bronzy hardware everywhere. And this one's got the Damascus blade on it. Dude, I am absolutely freaking in love with this knife. And you hear like MC saying, we don't need another slab side frame lock. This is exactly what I like. Flat side, titanium, no relief, good old American made slab side frame lock all day long. This is me all day long. I love this freaking knife, dude. Absolutely freaking love this knife. If I could find one to buy right now, I would already have bought one. This knife is sick. It's badass. for whatever reason, and you know, ergos are one of those things, but different hands feel different on different knives. It's a fairly large knife. I ain't gonna say it's huge. It's, you know, it's thick, but it's not like, let's just do, yeah, let's do that one. So it's not like, it's not quite as thick as the actually it does look pretty quick, doesn't it? Yeah, so maybe it is pretty close to that same as the Skype Rogue Shark. It's pretty close to that same one. Thickness, so it's, you know, it's good and thick, but it's not like, it doesn't give you the feel of like that, the Rogue Shark or like a Crusader or a Medford. It doesn't give you that feel. It's a different kind of feel for this knife. It's a little slicker. It's almost like a Spyderco meant for me. So if Spyderco made knives like this, then that would be a huge fanboy. Loved this freaking knife, dude. It's on bearings for sure. It's not the most drop sheddy, but it's heavy enough blade. It did have a little lock stick. I did put the ox guard on it, and ox guard was pretty much, well, I remember Chuck Nunface saying something about it in one of his videos, and Plethora of Blades, when he was doing videos, said something about it in one of his videos. So if you never tried it and you got like a newer knife, dude, get it. It's definitely worth it, ox guard. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to Chuck Nunface's video. He's got it somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I just remember hearing it and I ordered it. Badass knife. So the one thing that Steve had mentioned about this knife is he didn't like the pocket clip, or he thought maybe the pocket clip looked funny. Like, it should be located here, not here. It may be something you could take apart and move down to there. Like, I don't know. Hadn't messed with it yet because it's not my knife. It's Steve's, and I wanted to talk to him before I did anything with it. And he also said he wanted me to, like, you know, make another clip. So if I'm going to make one, I have to take that one off the door to do it. But I'm one of those people that just want to, you know, make sure that the owner's cool with the knife before I do it. To me, functionally, there ain't nothing wrong with the clip. It looks a little weird, but in hand, it doesn't get in your way at all. Not even kind of a little bit. Like, I don't feel it at all. Like, it's good to me. Like, I personally, if it was my knife, I would just leave it alone. I might try to move it back to this other location to see if it lines up and works there, but that's about all I would do to it personally. But if Steve wants another clip, which, you know, Steve, if you do want another clip, let me know what you want, and kind of sort of if you want to move the location or leave the location, and we'll work all them details out. You know, my time's getting limited, so I think this week I'd really tried to get the Sawtooth scale started. The material came in. That's another thing that was cool. So I got the material. It ended up being like $1,500 instead of $2,000, which is good. A little bit better pricing than what I thought I was going to get. But it really was just 5 pieces, 4 foot long, and you're like, that's $1,500. Holy crap! So anyway, I cut one of them up. I'm gonna make scales, back spacers out of one of those pieces of stock at the machine shop. I was really trying to get that working and set up, but I didn't have time, man. I mean, I think I spent 13 hours at the shop this week. The rest of my time's been on the business, so you know, my time's limited. So you know, a project like this, I'm gonna have to take to work, kind of sort of get a game plan in my mind, come home, play with the computer, try to design something on a Mastercam, and then take it to work and kind of play with it. Usually proof it out in aluminum before I go cut it in titanium. You know, it's a process, so it's not like something I can just jump on and do. So Steve, if you need these knives back, you let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to even plan on sending anything back till well after next weekend. Like, let Good Friday or Black Friday and all that other stuff. Y'all have Thanksgiving, and then, you know, all that other holiday madness of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, hoopla, get over with. Maybe the week after that, I'll try to mail them back to you. Unless you need them before then, you let me know, and I'll kick them out this week. But otherwise, like, I'm just going to wait till all that shipping stuff gets done. All that madness gets done. But the TYR Zermano knives, definitely one to watch. The maker's one to watch. And I believe, pretty sure, in looking up the knife that he won Tactical Knife of the Year on Blade Show, the blade grind is kind of strange. You see how it's got a lot of belly right there in the middle, right here, and it kind of thins out and thins out. It's not a pokey tip. It's more of a prying tip. It's a pretty good robust tip, but it does get kind of slicey right here at that belly. I have no idea what steel this is. It's just Damascus, as far as I know. I don't know if it's what kind of Damascus it is, but it looks cool. I don't necessarily care about if it is or isn't Damascus. I just like the dark blade. The colors of this one, like purple is not my color. Y'all know I'm not a color kind of guy, but dude, it pops on this one. It looks really good. I dig the hell out of it. I think it looks badass. This is definitely the one that, out of the 3 he sent right there, this is the one that if I had to spend money on the knife right now, I'm buying this one. I really enjoy this knife. And if you ever decide to sell it, Steve, you know, better hit me up. Let's see, what did I forget? I think we got it for right now. So we got called in, so I gotta pretty much wrap this up and Boogie, y'all let me know how the quality is. Like, I'm not really fond of this light. I might go back to the other light. I don't know. I might use both of them next time. Y'all let me know what you think about the quality and see if it's good. I think the last video I did, most everybody said the audio and video is better, but now I'm doing the camera that's facing me so I can see the phone while I'm recording. So I don't know if it's as good of a camera as the other one was. But yeah, we live, we learn. I'm not the most technical guy, but I'm trying to get a little bit better. And I'm going to do a video, Tyler. I'm going to get you, bro. We're going to do that other video. All right. Y'all be cool. We'll call that a week. See y'all next week. Later.